Whereas in the Ramayana there is the war of righteousness with others, in the Mahabharata the war of righteousness is with our own people. In the Ramayana, the scene of war is across the ocean, far away from the kingdom of Rama. In the Mahabharata, the scene of war is at Hastinapur in their kingdom. In both, the war is between virtue and vice. Indeed, the Mahabharata is the story of the war within our own bosom. It represents the internal war between the good and evil that every person has to fight all the time. Mahabharata is the world's longest epic poem consisting of 100,000 verses. The author Vyasa literally means arranger. It may, however, be possible that this is not the name of any one individual. Rather, it may denote the position of a compiler. Historians and scholars have established that the Mahabharata was, in fact, written and compiled over many centuries, beginning from the first half of the first millennium BCE and reaching its completion toward the first century CE or even later. In Hindu scriptures, the language used by the great rishis is often symbolic. Dhritarashtra's blindness, for example, was not so much physical as it was mental. He could not discriminate between the right and the wrong. Once he became the ruler, his greed for power flared up in his mind. He had 100 sons, all called Kauravas, the eldest being Duryodhana. In the Mahabharata, the 5 Pandavas represent the virtues, while the 100 Kauravas represent the vices. Duryodhana played a foul trick in order to usurp the kingdom. He represents the vices of greed, treachery, and arrogance. Yudhishthira, the eldest of the Pandavas, was a man of unimpeachable truth, but he had a weakness for the game of dice. His absolute commitment to the virtues of truth and righteousness earned him the legendary status of Dharamraj, the prince of religion. Thus, even the most virtuous man too may have some serious weakness of behavior. When Yudhishthira lost everything and his right to the kingdom was gone, he became desperate. He gambled his own 5 brothers and later, to his ultimate shame, also lost the common wife of all Pandavas, Draupadi. Draupadi symbolically represents our honor. After Yudhishthira lost her in the game of dice, Duryodhana ordered that she be undressed in the court in front of all. When she was put in this most difficult situation, she looked around and begged for help from all. When no one came forward, she cried for Lord Krishna, who at once saved her honor by providing unending yards of cloth to keep her covered and intact. Much later, Draupadi would confront Lord Krishna, asking why he had not helped her sooner. The Lord replied that as long as she was looking for help in other places, he would not come. But whenever she remembered him in full faith, he would always be there. This is Lord's promise. Our God is the spiritual power within us. When man is banking only on physical and material aspects, the divine energy is subdued. Man, however, may tap into this infinite energy of the divine whenever he wants, if only he would turn from the material to the spiritual. Before the war, both cousin brothers, the Pandavas and the Kauravas, went to Lord Krishna asking for help. Lord offered, "On one side will be I, without any material possessions and arms. On the other side will be everything else, but not I." The message to the mankind is unambiguously clear: to choose between the mammon and God. Arjuna won the war with the help and blessings of Lord Krishna. On the battlefield, Lord also taught the invaluable spiritual lesson, the Bhagavad Gita, to Arjuna in person and to the world at large.